So I'm going to go ahead and teach you guys a little bit of a trick here. Um, I stumbled upon this actually by accident, but then I realized how well it was working for me. So really quickly, let me show you my ketonics here. I don't know if you can see the flashing light. It doesn't seem like it's picking up very well on the camera. But in any case, there's 6 greens. That's not like I'm in deep ketosis or anything like that. And that really makes sense because actually right now I'm consuming a high carb diet. And so this is what's kind of like the special trick, if you will. So even when you're consuming a high carb diet, you will become glycogen depleted after hard training sessions. And lately I've been really, hitting the training volume, high intensity, uh, lots and lots of reps. So what happens is after I train, so before I train, this is blue. There's no ketones, and also, keto sticks, or using my blood monitor, everything like that. I am not in ketosis, but after I train, I'm in ketosis, and that's because obviously I've depleted my glycogen levels to the point where now my body has had to turn to body fat to try to fuel itself. So this is my little hack for you guys. Um, what I'll do is I'll train, and then afterwards, when I'm in mild ketosis, that's when I go ahead and I throw in a little bit of like low intensity cardio. And now that could be something as simple as just like throwing on a 20-pound pack and going for kind of a jog. It's not a hard run at all. Um, or I might hop on the Airdyne and just kind of pedal at a moderate pace. I would tell you my heart rate usually stays somewhere around 130 to 140 beats per minute. I could easily push it way past that if I wanted to, but I don't. And the reason being is I kind of go off that Phil Maffetone has a maximum aerobic factor, used it with Mark Allen, and I really like following that protocol. It's kind of a lower intensity to make sure that you're staying in that aerobic zone, um, which of course is going to be more fat fueled. So that's my little hack for you guys. Even whenever you're on a high carb diet, you can still take advantage of the fact that your body's going to be switching from fuel source to fuel source. So obviously the glycogen, the glycolytic work, my sprint work, all those things like that are being fueled by carbohydrate. But at the same time, after a training session and before my post-workout meal, because obviously, once you slam those carbs and protein down, you're going to be out of ketosis. So I will finish a lot of my workouts, like I said, with at least a mild state of ketosis. 6 to 8 greens is usually what I get. I typically don't get into the yellow unless I do something really intense, like I've been hitting a lot of 10 rep squats and stuff like that. So if I start pounding the 20 rep squats, I will get into the yellow. But in any case, so once I finish, kind of almost as like a recovery session, if you will. I'll do 20 rep squats, and then I'll hop on the Airdyne and just pedal for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. And my ketones will go way up after I do that. And so that's the hack, trick, whatever you want to call it. I don't really think it's much of a trick because all I'm doing is just doing exactly what my body's designed to do. I'm burning through my glycogen, using up the fuel that is stored, and then once that's used up, I spend 15, 20 minutes of just really low intensity. You can call it cardio. I like to just refer to it as aerobic training. And I'm noticing that my body seems to respond to it really well. I can keep my heart rate down, and yet my speed keeps going up each week. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Just a little bit of a trick to get a little more training in there. And I don't have a Met cart, unfortunately, but I would imagine that my fatty acid oxidation levels are probably much higher. So you probably burn some additional fat by doing that. I mean, think about your low glycogen training, you're going to have to burn fat. So I'm not a physique competitor or bodybuilder or anything like that. It's not my goal to lose body fat. But I would say that if you were trying to lose body fat, this probably would work very well. Just kind of going off of the science and looking at the fact that, hey, I used up my glycogen, now I have to use body fat. So you guys can go ahead and give that a shot. I am not, like I said, I'm not a ketogenic, like zealot or something. Right now I'm eating a high carbohydrate diet because that's what I need to follow to match the training program I'm currently on. It's a lot of high intensity sprinting, a lot of top end speed. So because of that, you have to eat appropriately for the type of training that you're doing. So that's what I recommend to you guys. Go ahead, hit it hard. Hit your sprints when you're fresh. Do your guys call them like flying 30s and stuff like that, but do your top end speed work and get your lift in. It's very similar to like decathlon training. And then after that, you'll notice you're going to be producing ketones. And that's probably a good time for you to go ahead and hit that low intensity work so that you're still getting aerobic training, but you're getting aerobic training that's going to be utilizing fat for energy. And Mike T. Nelson, Metflex, I like that kind of mentality where you're teaching your body to use both fuels instead of just becoming entirely glucose dependent or entirely ketone dependent. I like to have that flexibility where your body can transition from one energy source to another. I also think that prevents people from bonking. You'll see a lot of people when they run marathons and stuff like that, they just hit a wall. And I think that that's because their body is inefficient at switching from the glucose to ketones. So there you guys have it. I just thought I'd share that little clip with you. Give it a shot. Give me some feedback. Let me know if it works for you too.